Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Donna Richardson, and my guest this hour is Senator Brian Simonaire, representing District 31. Senator, always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here.
The session has ended, and you were successful in having several of your bills passed.
Yes, many of them were local initiatives, and that's what I believe in, is talking to my constituents, and I think that's the best thing. We don't need more laws, we need good laws. And this is one of the things. There were several, and I'll go over a couple of them. One was protecting our children. And I've worked on this several years successfully. And this year, I was co-sponsor or lead sponsor of several protecting against the sex offenders. We were also concerned about seniors. And I've been working on a bill for about 3 years called the Loretta's Law, which will protect against the abuses of power of attorney. That was successful as well. There was also making sure our kids are safe in school. And a bill with that passed as well. And the last one I'll talk about is a bill to make sure criminals are not in our neighborhood, or at least trying to reduce that. And I worked in a bipartisan manner with the Assistant State's Attorney of Anne Arundel County. We got that passed, so we're very excited. But I'll also say it was the community who came down and supported this, and I want to give them a big thanks.
And that's what makes it, as you said, a success, because you talked with the community, you found out what their needs were, and you became their voice.
And that is trying to restore the voice of people back in Annapolis. Right now you have a lot of power structures, and maybe we can get into that later, but it's getting the voice of the people back into Annapolis, and that's my main call.
Now, in addition to, and congratulations on successfully having several bills passed, the budget is on the forefront of most of us.
Right, and anytime you mention budget, you hear the word challenge. But the problem is, what we've seen is leadership continues to spend beyond its means. And what we find is the solution a lot of times is tax increases. And again, this year, they passed a budget that was $1.5 billion in deficit, which means they're putting us on another path for another big tax increase. Now, I don't know who's going to be in the leadership next year, but I can guarantee this, that I will continue to fight for a state budget that's responsible, spends within its means, and I will not support these massive tax increases. Now, I will talk about the excessive spending. It's not only at the state level, it's also at the school, at the county level as well. I don't know if you heard, our school board just recently gave a huge raise to our superintendent. So the fact that he's making over $250,000 in a government position. Now, to put that into perspective, if you take the salary of the governor of Maryland and the county executive and you combine it, it still doesn't reach the superintendent's salary. Leaders just don't get that the excessive spending is mortgaging our children and our future children. And that's what I'm fighting against.
And making people aware of what's going on. And as you were talking about the power structure, so as you arrived in Annapolis, what was your aha moment?
Well, as you said, I've been down there for 4 years now. And, you know, looking inside, you see one thing, and when you're actually down there, you see another. Everybody knows there's politics down in Annapolis and in Washington, D.C., but there's a very powerful handful of politicians in Annapolis. And this is probably one of the most distasteful parts of it that I've experienced, is that when you see a senator say that they're against something, but leadership needs their vote, and they change their vote, even though it hurts their constituents, and they vote with leadership, what they're doing is they're standing with the political establishment instead of the loyalty of the people. And I've seen that on several occasions. One is the 2007 tax increase. I know there were senators down there that said, look, I don't like tax increases, my constituents don't like it, but when Senate President Miller said, I need your vote, they voted with him, and it passed by 1 vote. There was another one this year with a special interest giveaway. And I asked some senator, I said, why did you vote for that? I know you don't like it, I know it'll hurt your constituents, and they said that leadership pushed them and pushed them to finally get them to vote for it. And that's the thing that we have to change.
Well, Senator, I want to thank you so much for your time and coming in and giving us updates about the bills and where we stand. And I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you too.
My guest this hour has been Senator Brian Simonaire with the District 31. And if you're interested in what Comcast is doing in your community, go to On Demand and click Get Local. For Comcast Newsmakers, this is Donna Richardson.